Hi YouTube. This is a video about the commonly discussed topic of parasitoid wasps. Now, since most people don't really know what they are, I assume they're not really a big subject of interest, I'll give a brief overview. These wasps are a type of wasp which lay their larvae or their eggs inside a host creature. So you've got a wasp insect, it lays its eggs in another insect, usually a caterpillar or a larvae, and then the larvae will eventually hatch and do various things, usually use the host as a food source. They're different from parasites because parasites generally live off a host and they don't kill it, they just draw energy from it, whereas usually parasitoids usually just end up killing the wasp at some point, killing the host at some point. Now, why do I actually want to discuss these? Because they're obviously quite vile. They're kind of like the insect world's version of Alien, if you've ever seen that film. But the reason why I want to talk about it in regards to evolution is because of the complexity of the wasp's larvae and how it would be so difficult to evolve. And the reason why I say that is because while the larva is living off the host creature, it often excretes into it a hormone or various hormones which allow it to manipulate and control its host. Sometimes the hormones make the creature go a bit mad and stop behaving as it should. Other times it just continues or it causes the host to continue feeding when usually it would actually stop. Either way, this benefits the parasitoid wasp larvae. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is so difficult for evolution to explain is simply because if evolution is happening to all creatures, and it won't be at a constant rate, but it's random, so it should roughly be happening to all creatures at all times, then how on earth does something of such complexity as an organism which can produce the same hormones required for a host to be manipulated, how can that do that when the host itself is changing all the time as well through evolution? How come the hormone receptors in the host haven't evolved into something different which isn't affected? How come the host hasn't evolved into a different creature in the thousands to millions of years it takes for the wasp to evolve the ability to create the exact correct hormone to have the effect on the wasp it wants, on the host it wants? There's got to be a million different kinds of permutations and alterations that could happen from injecting various chemicals into its host. So think how many it would have to go through before it actually gets to one which manipulates it in a positive way. And what I'm saying is, in that time, how come the host itself hasn't changed? To draw an analogy, imagine two cars 100 meters apart, and they're both traveling at roughly the same speed, and the one is trying to catch up on the other, but they're going at the same speed, so at the end of the day, the difference is always going to be the same. How do you create a specific targeting mechanism for a host when that host is constantly changing itself? One must need to go faster than the other, which doesn't really correspond to the spontaneous and random mutations which are meant to occur during evolution. I think that's pretty much all I need to say. Any questions, feel free to post them.